Hello! So a while back I did a cover of Home from Frozen, and I mean, it's in the title, so I don't know why I feel the need to explain this. But I've had a couple requests for a tutorial on how to play Home, the deleted song from Frozen 2. Yeah, I don't think there are any tutorials out there for this song. I will say it's a pretty complex song. It's got some like really challenging fingerpicking stuff going on. The chords change a lot. The chords themselves are easy, so if you know like most of the basic guitar chords, you'll be fine, but the finger picking is challenging. So I can understand why people are asking for a tutorial. I will go ahead and say that the version I play in my video and the version that I know how to play is not exactly like what's on the soundtrack, but I tried to get it as close as I could using my guitar and my like very mediocre guitar skills. I figured this out by ear, so it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to show you guys what I played in my cover of Home from Frozen 2. Okay, the most important thing, especially if you want to play along with like the soundtrack, is you need to put a capo on the 7th fret. That'll get you into this key, whatever key that is. The other really important thing, if you're going to play this the way that it sounds on the soundtrack, is the finger picking pattern. And I will say you can play along by just playing the chords like with a regular old strumming pattern, and it would sound fine. But if you really want to know like how they do like the cool little guitar part at the beginning, you need to know this finger picking pattern. And then if you know it for the intro, you may as well just do it for the whole song, in my opinion. I'm just going to show you guys how to do it on a G chord. You're gonna obviously use it on a bunch of different chords, but I'm just gonna show you guys on G. You're gonna use your first, this is where my piano terminology comes in. I played piano a lot as a kid, so the way I think of my fingers is this finger is 1, pointer finger is 2, middle finger is 3, ring finger is 4, and pinky is 5. So I'm sorry if you think of this as like 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess thumb is 5. I don't know how normal people think of fingers. I've heard that this is weird. But I put my first 4 fingers, which is what I call everything except my pinky, I put my first 4 fingers on the highest 4 strings. And they stay there. They don't move anywhere else anytime you're doing this finger picking pattern. And the way the pattern works is you play thumb, 3 and 4, 3, 2, thumb, 2, 3 and 4, 2. So it makes us like da 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 da. I mean, if you've heard the song, you know the rhythm, right? I guess another way you could think of it is in terms of the strings. So you could say like D, B and D, B, G, D, G, B and D, G. So what I suggest is, you know, maybe you can pause this video, practice that as much as you want, and then come back when you feel like you've really got that finger picking pattern down, and we can put it to the chords. Okay, so whenever you're ready, we can move on to the chords of the intro. And I'm just going to play the chords first with the strumming pattern that is used in later parts of the song. So if you don't really want to use this finger picking craziness, this is another option that you can do if you just want to play the chords. The strumming pattern that's used later in the song is down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. So again, if you want to practice that strumming pattern, go for it and come back whenever you're ready. So with that down, down, up, down, up pattern, these are the chords for the intro. E, D, G, C, E, D, G, and then you stay on G, and you kind of just like hold it out. So that's one way you can play the intro. Or you can try the finger picking stuff. And the way that works is every time you do your thumb, every time your thumb comes down, you're going to move to a new chord. So those same chords that we just practiced, but now we're doing it with the finger picking pattern. So that's going to sound like this. And for that ending, what I'm doing is I'm starting out with a normal G chord, but to create that sort of suspense and a resolution at the end, I'm adding my pointer finger to the B string on the first fret. So it makes this kind of And the finger picking pattern I do for that very last segment is a little bit different. So I go thumb, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 4. Now with this pointer finger down. And again, back to our regular, just the pinky, and 3 and 4. Or we can also think of it as, you know, D, B and D, G, B and D, B and D. Just remember that for those last 2 strums where you're doing your 3rd and 4th fingers, you bring your pointer finger in your left hand onto the 1st fret once and then take it back off. I hope I'm explaining that well. That's obviously not required. You can definitely just kind of like strum a G or like do or something. You don't have to do but it is there on the original soundtrack, so I tried to do it in my cover. Okay, so I'm gonna put the chords right here and I'm going to play through the intro. Feel free to play along as many times as you want. I'm gonna be doing the plucking pattern, but you can also do just like a regular strumming pattern, the down, down, up, down, up. Okay, so this is what the intro would sound like. I'm gonna play it a little bit slower than normal. Pretty short and not too hard except for that finger picking stuff. Then we get to our first verse, and the first verse has very, very similar chords to the intro. Again, the finger picking pattern is the same. If you're strumming, I would just strum with the same pattern. So the chords in verse 1 are E, D, G, C, E, D, G, D, E, D, G, C, E, D, G. You stay on G. And again, for that G, I will normally do that sort of thing. Again, not required, but I will be doing it. And then it repeats again, like when she's doing the wandering through the town with everyone. Exact same chords. Okay, so these are the chords. Again, remember to play through it twice because verse 1 is kind of long. I'm going to, again, be doing the finger picking stuff, but feel free to play along either picking or strumming. I smell that salty breeze blowing through the fjord. I hear those creaky ships as old board meets old board. I breathe in the place I live and wonder what else can I give this home, my home. Wandering through the town with everyone doing all of their stuff. Somewhere in my heart I feel I've not yet done enough for these people I know, this place that I love so, my home, my home. So that's verse 1. Yay, good job. Those chords will be repeated a lot throughout this song. And then, of course, after our first verse, we have that little whistling section. I think the whistling section is pretty easy because you just have to alternate between 2 chords, G and C. And again, if you're doing the finger plucking, whatever pattern, you want to do that during the whistling part. So you're just doing the same finger picking pattern that I talked about earlier. You go G, C, G, C. Pretty easy. So let's practice that little whistling part together. See, it's like super easy. The challenge in it is remembering, oh, I only have to play 2 chords now. But yeah, then after that we go into the bridge. To me, I see the bridge as a break because I don't have to do this finger plucking pattern. Even in the original soundtrack, it's just strumming. So those of you who have been strumming along for some of the chords, this part will be really easy for you because we're going to be using the same strumming pattern that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And that is down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. So if you want, if you haven't practiced the strumming pattern yet, you can pause and practice that all you want. Down, down, up, down, up. And when you're ready, come back here and we will work on the chords for the bridge. So the chords for the bridge are E minor, A major. These are a little bit faster. D, G, C, E minor, A major, D, G, C. So it just repeats. So we have our strumming pattern down, down, up, down, up. For some chords, you will do it twice. For some chords, you will only down, down, up once. So E, you do down, down, up, again. A, you do twice. D, you do once. G, you do once. And C, you do twice. And then again, repeat. But when we get to the end of the bridge where she says, I'm not alone anymore, that part, it's just, I'm not alone anymore, right? So it's just strum, strum, strum. So that's a little bit easier too. So these are the chords for the bridge. Remember, you play them twice, and let's go through them together. I whistle as I walk, a lovely smell of crowns of cocoa wafting out of the baker's door. The merchants haggling over fish remind me I have what I wish, 'cause I'm not alone anymore. And then you just go back into that whistling part where you're just going G, C, G, C, and doing the finger picking pattern again. So. So in my cover, I go straight from this part into the whistling. She does this whistling part again right before the last verse. And I just go straight into it because I don't play fiddle, so I can't do the fiddle solo. But if you want to play along with the fiddle solo, it's really easy. You're just doing the down, down, up, strumming pattern, and the chords that we use for the chorus. It's exactly like the choruses, but instead, fiddle's playing in the background. So if you are playing the fiddle solo, it's pretty easy to get out of. So you just have the fiddle doing its like little doobie 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 doo, and you end on a G chord. And the next chord you're gonna do is also G, but instead of strumming it, you're doing our finger picking pattern again. So it's like doobie 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 doo. And then again, it's just that G, C, G, C, back and forth. So after the whistling section, we have our last verse, and this, in my opinion, see, I keep saying this song is hard, but like there are a number of breaks where you're just strumming, and this is like the breakiest break in my opinion, because you're basically playing the chords that we've been practicing this whole time, but instead you're just strumming once. Like that. It's pretty much the same as the other verses we've been doing. The only difference is there is an extra line in there. They're my ocean, they're my shore, I want to give them more. You just do the same chords as the phrase before. So you have one more set of E, D, G, C. And then there's another kind of big difference, but it's definitely something optional. But in the background of the official soundtrack, there's kind of this like funky note that's adding some like tension leading into the chorus. And it's this note. And it's playing along with this G chord. So instead of just being a regular G, it's got this kind of thing going on, right? Like, you're like, that guy's not supposed to be there. So it really makes you think like, oh, there's something else that's still going to happen. In the original soundtrack, I think it's like the fiddle who's playing it. But I liked that note too much to just not have it. So to include that in my G chord, I don't know if there's a name for this. It's probably like G sus. I guess I would say G sus 4 probably, if I had to guess. But I basically just, instead of having my fingers like this for a G chord, I put my third finger where my second finger goes, and my fourth finger where my third finger goes, and then I bring my second finger down here and put it on the first fret of the B string. So that's the final verse. It's really just what we've been practicing so far, except you're strumming once, and then you gotta get that funky chord in there if you want to. So let's work through this final verse together, and then we'll do that final repetition of the chorus. I'm grateful for this castle and for everything we've got, especially my family. We've all been through a lot. I know how fragile things can be. If I lost them, I'd lose me. They're my ocean, they're my shore. I wanna give them more. They're my home, my home. Okay, and then she just kind of repeats home, 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 home over and over again. And, you know, the vocals are quite easy because you're just saying home, my home, my home. But the chords are kind of weird. They go in a weird order. I don't know why, so you really have to pay attention. Going into this section, there's something optional that you can do. I believe it's called chucking. It just creates kind of like a percussive effect on the guitar. This is what happens when you like mute the strings by pressing down lightly with your hand, and you just kind of... And I like to do this because there's an actual percussion part in the song, but I can't do that with my guitar. So what I do is when she's going, bless this, I'll go up, down, down. Bless this, totally optional. You can just like go straight into the chords, but I feel like this adds something to it. It adds a little bit of spice. So on the final chorus, verse, whatever it is at this point, the chords are the same chords that we've been playing, but the order kind of changes halfway through. So you have E, D, G, C, E, D, E, D, G, C. So the way I kind of think of it is she'll say like, our home, our home. It's almost like she like tried to say our home and then she was like, oh no, I got it wrong. Play those chords again. I don't know. That's how it helps me to think of it. But after that, it's the same chords in the same order that you're used to. E, D, G, C, E, D, G, C, like over and over again, and it's getting faster, and everyone in the background is saying like our home, our home. And then after you do that like 3 times, you stop. I kind of let it ring out for like a beat or two, and then I slam again, trying to compensate for like the percussion that I can't do because I'm just playing a guitar. So what I do is our home, stop, I'm home, G. And I just let that G ring out. Okay, so here are the chords that we play for this final segment, and let's go through it together, and then we'll be done. Starting, oh my goodness, I almost forgot, starting with the chuck, if you want to practice. So again, that's up, down, down. It's basically up, down, down, and then you're going into down, down, up, down, up. So the chuck section goes straight into the next section. Again, feel free to skip it if you want. So here's that last section. Bless this happiness we've found, bless this good and solid ground, our home, 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 I'm home. My voice is like not super strong right now, but you get the idea. Those high notes are like not here for me today. So that's home. I can't think of anything else that I have to add. Hopefully this tutorial isn't too long or too crazy, but like I said, if there's anything that you feel like I didn't explain very well, feel free to leave a comment asking any questions. The chords will also be down in the description so that you don't have to like watch through the video every time you want to remember what the chords are. And if you want to play along with me, feel free to go watch my original cover, which is up there. Or, of course, you know, feel free to sing along with Kristen Bell. Why would you not? You know, the soundtrack's available on YouTube or Spotify or whatever. So, highly recommend playing along with the original soundtrack as well. And I hope you found this helpful. I don't think I'm the best at making tutorials, but hopefully this helped you get, I don't know, make some headway into learning this kind of difficult song. So yeah, good luck as you continue learning the song and practicing. And if you do make a cover of the song, by the way, like, please let me know in the comments or something, because I would love to check out your covers. I think I've only seen like 1, maybe 2 other covers of the song on YouTube, and it's such a good song. Like, it's so fun. So if you know, really get it down, please come back and comment and let me know, because I would love to see your wonderful covers if you do end up doing one. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, I put out videos every other Friday, and my videos, I'll be honest, aren't normally like this. They're normally just kind of like me doing whatever. Last video I was talking about Animal Crossing. The video that I'm doing next week is also kind of Disney related, but not Frozen. I just kind of do whatever's on my mind that week. So I don't know, if you like my personality, if you like Disney, I talk about Disney a lot, maybe stick around. And for anyone who's like, why is she telling us how to play guitar? This is not what her channel is normally about. Don't worry, I'll be back in a couple weeks with a more normal video. So I'll see you guys then, and thanks so much for watching. See ya.